In the peaceful town of Ekonfe lived a young woman named Adjoa. Adjoa was kind-hearted, beautiful, and hardworking. She was a talented seamstress. She made the perfect clothes for men. Almost every man wore her design. Adjoa had a best friend named Essie, whom she had known since childhood. They did everything together, ate from the same bowl, shared secrets, and even promised never to let anything come between them. Essie was an event planner. She brought the groom's clothes for her best friend to make, as she would always recommend Adjoa to all her male clients. Meanwhile, in the same town there lived a young man named Kojo. Kojo was a strong, hard-working farmer who owned a big cocoa and ginger plantation. Many young women admired him because he was successful, responsible, and respectful. His mother often told him, "Kojo, you must find a good woman to marry before it is too late." But Kojo always laughed and said, "When the right woman comes, I will know." One day, Kojo's younger sister, Abena, was getting married. Kojo had to walk his sister down the aisle as the eldest son since his father was late. So he wanted to look unique. He wanted a new design, something unique, and Adjoa was recommended by his sister. She said Adjoa was the best person for the job. So Kojo went to Adjoa's shop to place the order. The moment Kojo saw Adjoa, his heart skipped a beat. She was not only beautiful but also very respectful. As Adjoa took his measurements and discussed the design, she also admired Kojo's gentle and kind nature. After the wedding, Kojo kept finding excuses to visit Adjoa's shop. Sometimes he would bring her fresh cocoa pots. Other times he would sit and watch her sew. It was clear to everyone that he had fallen in love. One evening, Kojo finally told Adjoa, "I have never met anyone like you. Will you be my wife?" With a shy smile, Adjoa smiled. Not so fast now. Don't you think we should get to know each other first?" "Okay, I'll wait for as long as you want me to," Kojo responded. The next day, Adjoa shared the good news with her friend Essie. "What are you waiting for? Slow down, girl. At least, let's just get to know ourselves first," Adjoa said. "Be there when someone else takes him from you. Don't come crying to me, oh." "I will not," they both laughed. After a year, Adjoa finally agreed to marry Kojo, and the wedding was grand. People came from far and near to celebrate Kojo and Adjoa. There was plenty to eat and drink, and the dancing lasted all night. Everyone gave gifts to the newlyweds, and they were all happy. There were a lot of gifts. There were so many that the gifts filled up an entire room, and it was impossible for Adjoa and Kojo to unravel all the gifts. Sometimes they even took from there to give others when attending other people's weddings. Months passed and Adjoa became pregnant. Kojo was the happiest man in Ekonfe. He treated her like a queen, making sure she ate well and rested enough. But one night, after 4 months of pregnancy, Adjoa woke up screaming in pain. Blood soaked the bedsheets. Before she knew it, she had lost the baby. It was a painful moment, but Kojo comforted her, saying God will give us again. The next year, Adjoa became pregnant again, and this time Kojo was extra careful, making sure she did not stress herself. But again, after 4 months, the same thing happened, another miscarriage. It continued after the second one, and by the time she lost the 5th one, people in the village began whispering, "Why does Adjoa keep losing her babies?" Some asked. Others said maybe she's cursed. Kojo's mother began pressuring him. "My son, you need children. Maybe it is time to take another wife." But Kojo refused. "I love Adjoa. We will wait for our time." Essie on the other hand consoled Adjoa, encouraging her to take it easy on herself, saying she will carry her own children. Adjoa became depressed. She could not understand why she kept losing her babies. One night, she had a strange dream. She saw a shadowy figure standing over her head, laughing wickedly. The figure whispered, "You will never carry a child in this house." She woke up and told Kojo about it. They were certain that something was wrong, and they felt whatever or whoever that person was related to the reason why Adjoa was having miscarriages. But who could that be? They asked themselves. One day, Adjoa and Kojo decided to clean the room where their wedding gifts were kept. Kojo and Adjoa went through all their wedding gifts. To their shock, while they were almost done unraveling the gifts, they found something very strange. It was a wooden shape of a woman tied around with a red piece of cloth. They were shocked. Who on earth gives this kind of gift? This must be something diabolic, they said. After cleaning, they took the gift and set it on fire. Months later, Adjoa took in again, and this time the pregnancy stayed and she delivered a baby girl. They were filled with joy. They had finally become joyful parents. Their friends and loved ones came to visit them. They also brought presents for their baby. When Essie got back home from visiting her friend, Adjoa, she suddenly fell sick. Her body was swollen and became dark as charcoal. She was in deep pain. She knew why she was in so much pain but refused to confess. But when the pain became severe, she could no longer endure the pain, so she called for Adjoa and her husband. When they got there, Essie confessed to being responsible for what had happened to Adjoa. Adjoa couldn't believe her eyes. "My own friend did this to me and made me suffer shame and ridicule. I will never forgive you," Adjoa cried. But Kojo said, "She's already been judged. You're victorious already, so unforgiveness is not necessary here. Just let her go and let her deal with her own conscience." Essie was always jealous of Adjoa. She was always angry that Adjoa got the most attention, and she had been admiring Kojo for years, but he never noticed her. Instead, he married Adjoa, and that really pained Essie. So she vowed to deal with Adjoa until Kojo left her. Then she would just creep in like the better person, but it didn't end up the way she wanted it to. That same night, Essie slept and never woke up, so she died from her sleep. And so Kojo and Adjoa lived happily, knowing that true love and faith would always conquer evil. Moral lessons. Be careful who you trust. Not everyone who smiles with you wishes you well. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you. Bye.